Hi, this is Ricky Sun, and I'm a Pi engineer. Today, I would like to share with you how I learned to spell Pi, Pi. So, when I get started, I was hired as a field service engineer at OSI Soft in Calgary, right? And then when I first get hired, it was around 12 years ago. And then I got a lot of training. I got sent to San Francisco and then Montreal and take their internal training as well as public training. And then I also, once you kind of know things, and then, well, that's where you know the basics, right, in the training. And then you build your own virtual machine, right? VMware, because it is free. You can create like AWS or Azure account to create virtual machine there as well, but it will cost you something, right? But at the moment we don't have that, so we build our own VM VirtualBox or VMware. We install Pi there, right? Have a network architecture, right? We install Pi here, interface in the other box, and then Pi region. So, and then PostgreSQL data link in a client machine, right? Something like that, and then you watch a lot of YouTubes as well as reading the manual, right? You get good at that. Reading so much manual, I remember interfaces is the challenging one, so you have to always refer to the manual. And then there are like on-site and remote jobs. So field service engineer always have to travel. So travel is kind of a thing for a field service engineer. They go to the client, and then we got real experience because we are trying to solve our client problem. Right? They may have to migrate Pi system into another machine, right? The machine's getting old, so they want to go to the new hardware, right? Things like that. And it's just fun because I think traveling to a different city or to a client, interact with our client is great experience on top of the Pi stuff, right? So yeah, I remember when I go to a different city, I like to visit different restaurant that I never try, and I bring my wife along sometimes if the city is like what she is interested. So that's great. Like you learn different cities and and Pi, right? Great, right? And then I also did so going to another another role, which is I did rotation with tech support. Right? Tech support. What is tech support? They pick up the phone, and then people who call the hotline have a Pi issue, right? Then you pick up the phone, you understand the problem, and you try to solve the problem for your client on the phone. Maybe sometimes the email problem, so which is not urgent, right? Email problem can be a how-to. Email problem is usually easier, but urgent problem usually come from the phone. Right? So we got to know how to learn how to troubleshooting, right? Isolate problems, right? Um, Testing, and you just you document things in detail so your client knows what you're doing when they look at the case in the website, as well as you supply material for your coworkers who might experience the same problem in the future to help them to overcome the same challenge, right? So that was what tech support is. And I remember sometimes I have to stay late because sometimes it's like very urgent problem and you cannot get on the phone because you have to solve it. Let's say it is a corrupted archive issue, right? At that moment, if you don't know how to solve it, then you waste a lot of time. If you know how to solve it, like some people will be like, oh, I just reprocess my data, my archive file, and then everything is working. If you know stuff, then you will be able to solve problem faster, right? And the difference between a younger junior support engineer and the senior one is like the senior one know. And I was impressed when I when I start with tech support rotation, I see like a couple guys who was there like at least 8 years, and they just know things. Right? I was like, oh, when can I get there? I asked myself, when can I get there? Because they seems like they know so fast. We spend like 8 hours on it. They spend 2 minutes on it. That's the difference. All right. And then development support engineer rotation. Last time I talked about it, I do hackathon supporting the user people in the conference and finish a program overnight, right? And then I answer question in PySquare and also give a training in programming, right? Py programming. Yeah, that was my dream job. I will never forget, and learn a lot from there. Then it gave me some skill on programming Py, right? And then at that moment, I was like, I want to excel that. I want to know more, and then I start doing more programming in the virtual machine that I built. Right? And then at one point, the company OSI Soft reorganized. So they changed our title from field service engineer to system engineer. And what is a system engineer? They are to provide demo to our client. When account manager, needs help, hey, I want to show them the power of the Pi system, right? We provide demo. We have to, before our demo, I myself would go on their website, review what the company do. Maybe if I know who is the person I will meet, I will take a look at their LinkedIn, right, to see what their role is, and then study the industry, right, the company, and then the person. And then before the demo, and then I remember you have to link your Pi system example to what they are doing. That's what our ultimate goal is, right? If you give them an example that is not their industry, they are not going to resonate, right? So that's an important one I want to share. And I keep up with the latest technology. When I was system engineer, I go to the AWS conference and learn about AWS, and then try things in Azure, right, and AWS, and then you just try to put the Pi system into the cloud. Also put data into the cloud, right? And then you also did presentation, right? In seminar, I did a presentation in Alaska. Yeah, it was great. It's more of customer facing too. So field service engineer become a system engineer. This is how it's evolved. Then I was there like 10 years doing Pi, and he's my takeaway, right? It's like playing piano, right, or guitar. Doesn't matter. But like, will you know how to play piano when you just play the first couple times? No, right? The people I know who know how to play piano at least spend like years, right? Like maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 10 years, right? So that's how they get good at it. And when the people who know how to do piano, how to play piano, they just go on the piano, right? And they just know how to play a song, right? And it's the same as how we do Pi system now, right? We just, when we touch the system, we know what to do. You just tell us what need to be done, and then we'll prioritize that, right? But I don't want to get cocky, and I'm not. I think there are many people that are smarter and better, right? And I understand that, like, people constantly learning, myself as well. But I want to say that what you focus on is what you will get better at. So focus, if Pi system is important to you, focus on that. Please click on the subscribe button, as well as hit the bell icon. Also, like like or comment my video, right? Because I may be wrong, right? Correct me. If you have your opinion, put your comment in. I just know what I know, but I'm sharing my knowledge with you. Right? So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.